let's just get this over with. I just stubbed my toe. It freaking stung. Oh, I've been trying to do a goofy intro where I go armed and dangerous and whatnot, but at this point it keeps glitching the mic and I don't know why. Okay. Hello Internet, it is I, Eatsor Games, and I'm going to once again remind you guys about St. Baldrick's, which is this Saturday, like the 3rd, meaning donations are coming to a close soon, meaning I could really use you guys to donate. Look, if you can't, I understand. Not everyone has the money all the time. But if you can donate to help in the fight against childhood cancer, that'd be much appreciated. I lost my little sister about 2 years ago to cancer. Meaning I'll never be able to hear her laugh again. I'll never be able to hear some of her bad jokes again. I'll never be able to tell her stories. She'll never grow up. People think cancer affects only one person, that being the person who has it. But in truth, it affects everyone around them. Their older brothers, their younger siblings, their parents. And childhood cancer is even worse than, adult cancer. Because it tends to take away the lives of the young people. So, if you guys can, the link will be down in the description. Either donate to me. My link will be there and will take you straight to my page to donate directly through me. Or you can go ahead and just find any random person, team, or just directly donate. I honestly don't care as long as we get the donations in. Anyways, without further ado, this is my opinions on Marvel Rivals. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Marvel Rivals, the only game where you can go ahead and grab your allies' powers and slam them around like you know what you're doing when you actually don't. You're kind of just guessing.
Just need to do it yourself.
Again! Not so fast! Playtime's over!
In Marvel Rivals, you have multiple different heroes, all of which are from Marvel's roster of both heroes and villains. In this clip, you can see me using Doctor Strange, who is not the best tank, but you can do stuff like this.
A shortcut through space.
Go!
Outstar magic.
Yep.
I am strengthened for battle.
And I suck at Doctor Strange, and that's a decent clip there. As a team-based shooter, you tend to do best when you're working with your team and not against them. Now, I'm not the best player in the world, but hey, once in a while, even I can pop off, and yeah, honestly, for a shooter, it's quite casual. Unless you, well, touch competitive, but we'll touch competitive in, a minute or 3. In the game, there are 3 rules you can select. I don't know the names of them all, so I'm just going to call them what they are. DPS, tank, and support. Support tends to, well, heal a lot. Meanwhile, DPS, you're expected to do stuff like this.
Smash that beacon. Khonshu demands vengeance. The wounds are gone. Thanks. I am the light in the darkness. It's clobbering time! Didn't like your shrouded by
Right! That's amazing! 6 in a row! Way to go!
DPSs take care of the enemy team, literally, by killing them. They remove the threat. It's the easiest role, but also a very important one, because without good DPS, there's nothing to keep the enemy from diving your backlines, and nothing to keep the enemy from, healing their own. Supports or strategists are, technically speaking, the most important because their ults are almost always game-changing. For instance,
The cosmos heals you.
I suck.
Second chance is over. Stronger together.
That's gonna hurt.
I am at your service. The cosmos heals you.
We won this game because of this play here. Especially over in competitive, where being a good healer can either make or break the game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not always the most exciting gameplay, unlike DPS, but supports or strategists, they basically are what is keeping your team alive. It allows the tanks to tank more than they than they could. It allows the DPS to just, keep killing everything. And yeah. Also, sometimes you have to become the damage. Don't ask why. That's about to happen. Poor Moon Knight. Sorry about the spoiler.
I'll patch you up. Fantastic! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Are we winning? I know I'm having a great time.
You stop them in their tracks.
You're welcome. Legendary! Who needs a power-up? My good deed for the dead. Watch out, these spirits shoot. Go on,
It's
Of course, a healer's greatest asset is situational awareness. This is another competitive match, by the way. The final role is Vanguard. In other words, the better DPS.
the exploding plasma.
Must escort Spider Zero to Brunica.
Going anywhere.
Vanguards are basically supposed to make room and take care of the enemy team, both the enemy team DPS and also the heal. Wait, isn't this literally just what the DPS are supposed to do? Kind of think of it, most of the time a tank tends to top score over them, with the only thing being lower is the healing, which goes to the healers. It's almost as if the tank role is more important than DPS, with the only role that's more important being the freaking supports, because without the supports, there is... Look, I know that without the DPS, then guarding our backlines and diving the enemies ain't going to be that easy to win. But at the same time, a tank can do the same thing half the time. Like, no offense, DPS feels almost redundant because tanks are so good. The 3v3, the 3-3 meta tends to win out, aka GOATs. Look at Overwatch. Heck, I get into their backlines just like the DPS tend to do, and look, they're not even going to come for me. In other words, I'm able to do the same thing that my DPS would normally do. Look, I'm not going to say that the way I play is better than everyone else's, because it really isn't. In fact, I would say I'm probably one of the worst players out there, if it wasn't for the fact that I tend to win most of my games. But seriously, DPS either feel like they are not the most valuable thing on the team, or the only thing that is keeping our healers in spawn. Meanwhile, our tanks are so boring to play at times that I just never really capture much footage for them. Meanwhile, healers, I'm either always in the action, or I'm in the backlines, distantly healing my allies. Meanwhile, DPS are almost always in the thick of it, always having a good time, with the exception of Punisher. Like, no offense, my friend who is a Punisher main and literally only plays Punisher. I don't know why he enjoys the character, but hey, more power to him. In fact, ignore everything else in this video and hear this one thing. I do not care if you want to fight everyone as a DPS, have fun. That is the only true takeaway from this video. If anything else, this has been Etor Games, and I wish you all a wonderful day.